Hello and welcome to On Farm.
So this is part 2 of our episodes from the Royal Highland Show 2024, and it's part of our wider series, isn't it, Anna? As part of the Royal Highland and Agricultural Society of Scotland's 240 Years of Stories.
Yes, and we are gathering 50 of those stories here at the Highland Show. So we're chatting to people from all walks of life, finding out from people what it is that they love about coming to the Royal Highland Show.
And just now we are in the food hall, and we're going to try and talk to some of the stall holders and some of the punters as well.
We are.
The Damn Fine Cheese Company. I love some of these names.
Yeah. Would you mind just sparing 2 minutes? Would that be all right? Thank you.
Yeah. So my name's Chris. I represent the Kilted Fudge Company. It's a company we set up nearly 10 years ago now, based in Aviemore up in the Highlands of Scotland. Definitely a seasoned visitor. Been coming since 2016.
You enjoying it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's our biggest and best show of the year. Last year was a record year for us, and I think the attendance here really helped. People wanted to get back out, and it's been a great start to the show this year as well so far for us.
Yeah. Have you ever run out?
No. Have a feeling I might get close to it this weekend. Yeah, it may well be. The team are busy making more, so if I have to go back up tonight or possibly Saturday night, I'll have to nip back up and get some more stock.
So you could potentially go all the way back to Aviemore to get more stock.
Absolutely.
To then come back. That is dedication, isn't it, to your business?
Yeah. Absolutely. Have to be. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Good luck. Oh, here you go. What's this?
Oh, prize.
Oh, a prize winning.
So we are Walk Farm. So Walk Farm is in Aberdeenshire. We are basically an organic farm with an on-site butchery that has a royal warrant. And we are also mainly known for the delicious pies that we make. So not only do we rear our own animals, we make our own pastry ourselves and make fantastic pies with this.
We're sold, I think. Can we have a wee taste?
Of course you can.
Thank you.
So this is our pork and bacon pie. It's made with saddleback pork, which has been foraging outside, so fed on a wild diet, not only a slow-growing breed of animal, but also full of flavor because of its diet. We butcher it at a farm, cure part of it into our own bacon, put that back into the pie filling to give it a deep flavor without any additives, and then put that into our own made pastry.
It's quite something.
That is amazing.
That is just silence.
And the pastry is like just the right level of crispy, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
We have had that recipe for more than 15 years now. Wow. So that was found by my wife, Laurel Foreman. She's an incredibly talented person. Farmer, butcher and cook. We have a display of wildflowers as well because obviously it had to represent what we stand for. If we are being inspired and we're trying to support Scottish wild natural beauty, I think it's nothing better than to have something actually wild as well at your stand.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. And that was absolutely divine. I loved it.
Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Josh. I'm the CEO and one of the founders of Bros. And we're Scotland's one and only oat milk producer. We make oat milk using the world's best oats, which obviously are Scottish oats. Yeah. And we're just delighted to be here and are just having a great time.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised to hear you say that you're the only oat milk producer in Scotland. Is that right?
Yes, that is absolutely right. There have been a few other projects that had tried, but the fact is, it's not an easy thing to do. So we've been running now since 2019, but now we've got a product that's triple award winning. We've got executive chefs and premium outlets that are saying it's the best product on the market. And we're going to be supplying into places like Gleneagles. We've won a contract to supply into University of Edinburgh in tender against the world's biggest oat milk company, Oatly. What puts us apart, aside from the provenance, is the fact that we're actually employing local people. We're supporting local Scottish farmers. Yeah. And actually our biggest customers are Scottish dairy farmers.
So you're selling oat milk to dairies for them to then sell on to customers as an alternative product to the cow's milk, or I guess some of them sell orange juice and eggs and all sorts as well, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it just makes sense. If you're doing like a distribution for door-to-door deliveries and you're delivering to 100 homes, but you've got 5 of those homes that are, you've got some people in it that are lactose intolerant. Of course, you want to cater that,
exactly,
so they'll get a margin on that, and it works for them.
And they will want a sustainable Scottish product as well, so it fits the bill. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why the Highland Show? Why is that somewhere that is obviously important for you to be?
Well, it's the biggest agricultural event in Scotland of the year. It's world famous. we see ourselves as part of the agricultural community. Scotland's known worldwide for their quality produce, and so for us, it's just a delight, to be part of it.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for speaking to us.
I'm Graham Bicken, standing on the Orkney ice cream stand with a selection of our finest ice creams.
And a bunch of flavours. The ones we've got in front of us here: lemon curd, chocolate, toffee and Orkney fudge, raspberry and original. Now, I don't think this is your first rodeo, is it? This will not be your first time at the Highland Show.
No, the first time I was here was 28 years ago now, which I'm slightly embarrassed to admit. So I was, a bit younger.
What skin cream are you using?
Well, it's all the Orkney milk and cream that obviously,
Must be, yeah.
Great
It's
for
good.
the wrinkles.
Ice cream's good for the health. That's the message.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what keeps you coming back then, as a business?
Well, we have agricultural roots, so I think that's it's always been a big part of our calendar, and it's just a great showcase, one of the biggest shows in Scotland. It's just great to come and show our wares and be part of the show.
Yeah.
And actually, I've just realised you're on a whole kind of Taste of Orkney mega stand here, aren't you? So we've got gin producers next to you, and what's the next one over?
Rum. So it's a Jago rum, and we use their product in our rum and raisin. So we try to use as much local produce as we can. So obviously the milk and the cream is the basis, and that's all local from Orkney. And we use the Jago rum. We use Highland Park whiskey. We use Kirkjuvar. Do a pink gin, which is honey and raspberry. And we also use Orkney fudge as well. We've got a very strong food community in Orkney. That's something you can see by all the stands around here. And we're very lucky with that. And there's a real camaraderie between all the companies, and we all help each other out when we can.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for speaking with us.
So it's just a short hop from the food hall to where we are now, which is where the Clydesdales are, Anna.
Yeah, and we can smell that we've arrived at the horses, can't we, Dave?
It's a familiar.
It's a smell that I'm quite used to, but you maybe not so much. So these guys get the biggest stables because they are obviously the biggest horses. Because look, I have a horse who's 16 hands, and this horse is so much bigger. I can't even describe it.
Well, I'm 6'2" and I can't see over its back.
No, I mean they're just so big, but so majestic. And yet, what's so interesting about them is that they're such a gentle animal.
Hello, you. Hello. Oi.
He's looking for a little treat. I don't have anything for you except some lovin's. Yeah, that's all I got.
Tell me your name.
Karen.
Karen, where are you from, Karen?
We're from Boston.
Did you come from Boston especially for the show?
No, I'm staying in Edinburgh. I'm a visiting professor at Edinburgh Napier University.
Sorry, microphone's being eaten by this massive horse.
Yeah.
And what do you think about the show? Have you been to anything like this before? Are you rural yourself?
Yeah, I grew up on a very small farm, but I grew up in a community where a lot of people had farms, only dairy farms, and then I used to show quarter horses growing up. So yeah, I'm very comfortable with horses.
And tell me what you're getting out of the show. Tell me what you're enjoying about being here.
I just love being with I'm not seeing anything but the animals. We got here bright and early. We're working our way through all the barns.
Just hanging out with the animals.
Just petting the animals, talking to a lot of the owners. That's one thing I really enjoyed about Scotland. The people, incredibly friendly and helpful. And so we got to talk to a lot of the owners of some of the sheep farms and learn about what they do. And we talked to a nice lady who was a nurse, and she was raising Highland cattle in the cattle barn. And now here we are in the Clydesdale barn. It's almost lunchtime. We're only on our third barn because we're looking at every animal.
I'm glad you're having a good day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don't go near the back end, Dave.
I'm not that daft.
Hello, my name's Ben Scott.
And where have you come from, Ben?
We're from Lamavada, we're Gladeview Clydesdales. And I'm here from family showing Clydesdale horses at the Highland Show.
How many times have you been here at the Highland Show with Clydesdales?
I think it's 12 years now.
Wow.
Since I was a kid, we've been doing it all our life. So
Yeah. And tell us how it works then. You've got the horses in Northern Ireland. How do you get them here?
With great difficulty, I imagine.
it's a long trip. We load up at home and drive to the boat and get on the boat and come across and driving up the road just with a lorry and the whole thing kitted out to carry them. And it's easy and the horses travel and they get here, they have great facilities and great stables and they love it. They work too, the horses, it's a long day for them out and about and showing, but the horses wouldn't be here. They love showing. You see them when they go out to the ring, they have their heads up and ears perked forward, and they're loving it.
Yeah. So do you show them in hand and you drive them, is that right?
Yes, I'm in hand driving and riding them too.
Oh, riding them too? Oh, wow.
We've girls that ride them for us. And
yes. And have all the horses been behaving themselves?
So far, we'll know better today. We're showing in the main ring 4 o'clock with a 4-horse team. Usually it's 6, but this year's 4.
And
easy
you
year.
drive?
Yeah,
you drive.
I do all the
so
driving.
who sits with you then?
Usually up in the carts, my granddad and my mum with me.
Oh, amazing. So it's a total family thing.
Yeah, it's all family, yeah.
That's brilliant. So the 3 of you in the main ring with the 4 horses, that must give you the goosebumps, does it?
Yeah, well, I've been doing it long enough now. It's not,
yeah, I guess. Yeah.
It's not too bad now, but it's like everyday work now. It's easy, it's natural.
Wow.
What are the judges looking for?
They'll be looking at the harness you've on, how clean the harness is, how clean the horse is, your cart, how clean it is, and then how the horses go. The action of the front legs, how well they lift their legs, how well they keep up with the pace running, and there's a lot to go by, and a lot of judges judge different.
So how many horses have you got back in Northern Ireland then?
Don't tell my mother, but I've 18.
What's the story there? Have you bought some recently that she doesn't know about?
Yeah, I've bought 6 recently, but I try and keep them hidden from her.
How do you hide a Clydesdale?
Yes, I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere. Like, how do you, surely she can count.
How do you know there's a Clydesdale in the fridge? Is that or something like that?
Keep them in fields where she can't see them, or never. It doesn't know where they're at.
Do you want to go on round to the other livestock?
We're at the milking parlour now. So obviously when the dairy cows come to be shown, they've still got to get milked twice a day because that's their routine and that's what you do with dairy cows. So there's a milking parlour. Sponsoring the milking parlour is a wonderful company called Fulwood Head Dairy Supplies, who are actually clients of Scene and Heard.
Yeah.
Tell us what your name is and where you've come from.
I'm Andrew Watson and I'm from Mauchline in Ayrshire.
And why are you at the Highland Show this year?
To show the cows and meet all my good friends that show cows as well.
How are you getting on showing the cows this year?
So we get 3rd and 4th of the calves.
Hey, congrats.
Thank you. And then we go 3rd with an Ayrshire, had 7 calves so it has, so that's doing good. And then we got 5th with a jersey, and then 2nd with another jersey.
You must be chuffed. That's a good result all round.
Over the moon, like.
Yeah. And is that why you keep coming back? Why
I
is
just
the
keep
Highland
coming
Show
back.
such a draw?
For the showing and meeting all the new people and making some great friends, some lifelong friends.
And is it a family affair? Have you got parents, grandparents, or anybody?
They're very involved in it as well.
Are
so
they?
Yep.
So you all come and you kind of make a few days of it, do you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Make a good wee skite out of a wee sesh, as we've got it. Scotland.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for talking
Thank
to
you.
us. Hopefully it wasn't too painful.
Oh no, it was a good one.
My name is John Angus. I am the head of livestock at Aberdeen-on-Mart Stainston. We're not good enough of telling the public what we do in farms, the challenges in farms, because the livestock industry is decreasing, the cost of producing them are going up. We need food security and we need the upland farms. There's been a lot of tree planting going on, which is taking land out of production as well, which is a big concern. But it's a labour as well as a big concern. Where is the next livestock farmers coming from?
Yeah.
The opportunities are there for young people as well, along as on the farms and all the other interest that leads into farming. There's great opportunities out there, and it's a good life working in the agriculture. A great life.
Yeah, it is. Thank you
Excellent.
very much.
Yeah, my name's Rebecca Moore. I'm from All Houses Farm in Hexham. I'm here with my Herefords. This is my very first year with the Herefords. I'm usually here every year with sheep, but this year it's a totally different game with my Herefords now. So hopefully next year we'll have a slightly bigger team and we'll go from there. But as you can see, we have one as well.
Yes, well, we can see a red rosette, and I know that a red rosette means first place.
No,
so,
it was a total shock.
Was it?
Yeah, with it being the first time, it was a massive array of cattle in there as well, and really high quality as well. I didn't think we'd, even get placed. If we did,
Huge congratulations.
You must be absolutely delighted.
No, thank you.
What does it mean to your farm, to your business, to win a red rosette?
I mean, I farm on my own, so it's a massive deal for me. It just motivates you to keep going and keep doing what you're doing. I'm not from a farming background. I got into it about 4 years ago. I had a small hold and had that sold, and then I had the chance of a farm, and managed to get a hold of that, and then from there just sort of developed a bit further. So women in agriculture.
I'm so glad that we found you to talk to.
No, thank you.
It's been brilliant and well done.
Thank you.
Well done. We're walking out of the cattle hall now, past the belted galleries, which Dave said he particularly loves, and actually so do I. Aren't they gorgeous? I just loved Rebecca's story because I think, a lot of people assume that you can only get that level of success if you've been born into a farm, but she just is proof that if you want something badly enough, you can just get on and do it.
Yeah, brilliant. What a brilliant way to leave the cattle lines. Anna, as we're passing the cattle showing ring, I am deliberately skipping over this a bit because last year's Highland Show, Monty and I spent a lot of time at the cattle ring.
Yes.
So if folks are interested in what goes on at the Highland Show cattle rings in particular, there will be a link in the show notes for this episode to all the past sort of Highland Show episodes we've done, and you'll find that one there. It was also this ring as well is where the Young Farmers Tug of War happens. And we did a whole episode last time.
On that as well, didn't you?
Sports commentators, Monty and Dave, on the super intense Highland Show.
So yeah, we came out back outside into the fresh air, and now we're just walking through the sheep. What idiot wears white trainers to the Highland Show?
I didn't like to say. So we're coming up to a pen now where something's clearly going on.
Going on. Let's see. Can you start off by telling us your name and where you've come from and what you're doing here at the show?
Yeah, my name is Fraser Kay. I'm from West Linton in Peeblesshire, and I'm here to show 3 sheep. I've got 3 North Country Cheviots. I've got 2 crop yow with her yow lamb, and I've got a gimmer here. It's a lamb from last year.
And how's it going so far?
Good, been a good show. Great show of sheep. Very tough competition, big classes, but yeah, I think the judge made a good job. I didn't win anything. As I say, it's big classes, so I'm not too disappointed. It's a show where everybody comes together. So you come for 4 days out, get away from work, wife, kids. It's great.
You bring your work with you though, that's the problem.
That's my hobby.
True, yeah.
I work on a farm. We have Simmental cattle, so we're showing the Simmentals.
Oh, are you as well?
Yeah,
Right.
but these are my hobby. The Cheviots are my hobby.
So we're looking to collect sort of people's stories and memories of the show maybe. Is there anything that springs out? You say to us that you enjoy coming every year.
Back in the Young Farmers days, it's competitions. We used to do stock judging.
Oh, yes.
We used to have the arts and crafts, tug of war. But that was 20 odd year ago. I suppose once you've come, you'll always come back because it's such a good atmosphere, such a great show.
Well, thank you.
Lou Richardson riding Marsh Walk On By.
So I've wiped the sheep poo off my shoe, heading towards the countryside area. But on our way, we've walked past SRUC building. So we thought, well, actually, let's go in and see who's around to have a chat with them.
Who's around and what they're up to.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
Hi, my name's Mary Thompson. I'm Vice Principal at SRUC and I have responsibility for SAC Consulting and Skills and Lifelong Learning. So I get to work with our excellent teams of researchers, educators, consultants across Scotland. I live in the beautiful Scottish borders and I'm here yesterday and today to enjoy the Highland Show and to meet our clients and students.
I love this. We've just rocked up and got straight to the Vice Principal.
I know. So tell us about what the Highland Show means as an event for you.
The Highland Show is one of the biggest events in SRUC's calendar. We are all here showcasing what we do all year round to address challenges for Scotland like sustainable food production, biodiversity loss and climate change, but those are also challenges that are faced internationally, and we have researchers and consultants working across Scotland, the UK and internationally to address those challenges.
Yeah. The majority of people who come onto the stand during the Highland Show, why are they there?
So we have our SAC Consulting Client Lounge happening at the moment. That's an excellent opportunity for our consulting teams to be here, for clients to come in a fairly relaxed setting, but also to ask the technical questions. We've got our knowledge experts and our specialists here down in the main SRUC stand. We've got our educators, our apprenticeship leads, our researchers. So we work with the Gates Foundation. There was an international summit here yesterday, but it's also an opportunity to showcase our big innovative projects across Scotland. So we've got the digital dairy chain down at Barony. We have up in the north of Scotland the Rural and Veterinary Innovation Centre. We've got the new vet school and the seed pod in Aberdeen, and just finished last week we have the vertical farm in Edinburgh. I think I've remembered them all. There's even a mini vertical farm here for the show.
Wow,
Can we go and have a look?
Of
Could you
course.
show us around? Is that all right? I know we said just a quick chat, but come on, let's take full advantage.
We'll try not to keep you for too long.
Absolutely fine. More than happy. So we're walking into the main SREC stand here because actually the consulting area is full of clients at the moment, as it should be.
Yeah, and this is a big marquee which is pretty full as well.
It's a great opportunity to show you around. So
here's the mini vertical farm that you were talking about. Yes.
So we're working with Intelligent Growth Solutions at our Edinburgh site. The real size vertical farm was just finished last week.
Yeah.
So that will be an opportunity for us to work in research, to work with our international partners, and also to develop those key skills, the workforce of the future. And the one that I didn't mention before in my list of innovations was the green shed. I don't know if you've seen the Lego model. We've got Carol-Anne here. I wonder, Carol-Anne, we're just doing a little podcast.
So my name's Carol-Anne Duffy. I'm based at SUC's Beef and Sheep Research Centre. So my job is to look at ways to mitigate methane from ruminant production systems. So what Green Shed's about? It's about how we can do something about methane from a housed environment. So what we're doing is we're linking lots of technologies in a circular way, but the idea is that you can retrofit that onto existing sheds. So a farmer wouldn't need to invest in building a brand new shed to be able to work with this concept. So basically what we've done is we've taken a standard cattle shed, enclosing that building with roller doors, roller curtains and an automatic ridge on the roof. That allows us to accumulate the methane in the shed and do something about that methane. What we have to do though when we close that environment, animals produce a lot of heat, they produce a lot of moisture and they produce a lot of carbon dioxide. So what we've done is we've linked a heating, ventilation and cooling system. What that does is it controls the environment within that building. So we keep the carbon dioxide levels in safe limits, we keep the temperature optimum for the animal, and we basically take the moisture out of the building. What we also do is, because we're cycling air, is that we run a UV filtration system in there and a sterilisation system so that we get rid of the bacteria and the viruses and keep that environment as clean as we can for basically animal comfort and animal performance. That allows us to then take that methane-rich air from the shed and we can do something about it. The building is designed to be straw-bedded. The straw is where we generate our energy. So what we've done is we've built what we call a modular anaerobic digester. That allows us to deal with liquids and solids, and the solid portion, the straw, is where we get all of our energy. So we then generate a bunch of biogas. So we've got a gas balloon here, and then we've linked that to CHP, or a combined heat and power engine, and then we can burn that methane, and that's where we get our energy. So we're generating heat and power that we can use to basically run this system. And the idea is that the energy demand and the energy that we make is net over that 12-month period. What that allows us to do is to combust the methane from the shed, and our aim is to take that very potent greenhouse gas that's a high GWP or high global warming potential down to a gas that's much less potent. So we're taking methane and converting that to carbon dioxide. We've also embedded a wastewater cleanup system, and it will clean up all that digestate, take that water to the point that we can then reuse that in our anaerobic digester, so we don't then need to bring in fresh mains water into the system. So that makes it more circular and more efficient, and all of that remaining high dense nutrient is stackable material, so we can then just store that as dry material.
You've thought of everything, eh?
You've demonstrated the whole system for people who are coming here to the show using Lego, which I think is brilliant, and the kids all love it, but it's a really good way of illustrating what you mean.
One thing that this demonstrates really clearly is how much farming is changing and how quickly. You need to be a scientist, you need to be an engineer, you need to be on the cutting edge of so much technology to be a farmer these days. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. I've honed my power for the past 2 days. Yeah.
Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
Oh, what a smell. We were on our way to the countryside area. We've been waylaid again.
And we've spotted the Scottish Beekeepers Association, and actually we spoke briefly about bees yesterday, didn't we? And obviously bees are critical.
Oh my goodness, the smell when you walk into this tent.
It's probably the wax you're smelling. People are coming in this year and saying, oh, it's a lovely smell. But we have more wax entries than usual, and I think that's what you've got the scent of.
Tell us who you are.
I'm one of the stewards here at the honey tent.
And you've got Susan on your label. You're from Lanarkshire.
I'm from Lanarkshire Beekeepers, indeed. Yes. And we welcome in here about 8,000 people a day, usually.
Wow. We wanted to come here because we had a chat with somebody yesterday, and we ended up in that conversation talking about if there were no bees, there'd be no food production.
Indeed. In fact, researchers some years ago said that the bee is the third most important food-producing animal in Western Europe. First the cattle, then pigs, then the bees, then poultry.
Yeah, they might be small, but they're mighty.
Exactly, that's right. Well, you've come to the sweetest part of the show, and there's honey to taste, as well as bees to see.
How did you first get into beekeeping? What ignited that passion?
I was a summer baby, and in the olden days when I was born, they put you in a pram and they left you in the garden all day. And I think one of the first sounds I heard was the buzzing of the bees.
Wow.
I had an uncle who kept bees, and I wanted to go and see what it was like with him, and they would never let me go. But when I was a bit older, I decided I was going to do it. So I went to Glasgow and district beekeepers, and they taught me a lot, got me started, mentored me once I got my bees, and were just so supportive. Lovely to meet you.
Good luck. Thank you. So we're walking past the exhibition now of the candles. There's award-winning candles. That one's a pair of Daleks. Dalek candles.
Yes.
So we were being pointed towards the back of the tent where there are some colonies of bees.
To meet the Queen, she said, didn't she? Go and meet the Queen. So yes, they've got a narrow glass cabinet with the bees in. Very popular. People are...
swarming. People are swarming to this area of the tent. Hello, could we have a chat?
Hi.
Yes. My name's Giles Saldana. I'm from Cumbria, from Kirkenbeck or Cammock.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 3 frames.
So is there a queen in here?
There is,
yes,
on the other side.
On the other side.
She's about in the middle. Oh no. She's here.
Oh, she's got a green dot.
Yes, she's got a green dot. That's this year's queen.
I see.
She's just checking out the cells.
Yeah.
She's found one. When she starts...
She's reversing in now.
There you go, the abdomen has gone into a cell.
Yep.
Wow.
We've met the Queen, so we did what we came here for.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Giles.
Thank you so
You're welcome,
much.
you're welcome. Hello, my name is Alan Riach, and I'm the Education Officer for the Scottish Beekeepers Association.
Why is it so important that we educate people about bees?
The earlier we get people involved in that, the better. We managed to persuade the SQA to introduce an N5 in beekeeping.
Now, hang on, SQ8, Scottish Qualifications Association?
Yes, and so that means it's like a national qualification, so the schools then became interested. There's probably 30, 35 schools now run that N5.
Wow. Well, I'm so glad we came in here because we've had 3 really interesting conversations, and I think we have very much emphasised the important role that bees play in food production. So that's what we wanted to achieve, isn't it?
Job done.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Buzz off.
Buzz off, did he say? Brilliant.
Hello, my name's Lindsay McConnell. I am originally from East Lothian from a farm, and now I live in Glasgow and come through to the Highland Show still every year. I'm still a member, even though I live so far away.
You don't need to keep coming back to the Highland Show.
No,
what is it that keeps drawing you back here?
To be honest, it's probably the food. So I'm also a home ec teacher, so the food tent is really when I sort of aim to go to.
So you're a home economics teacher in Glasgow. What do you think farmers and people here need to understand about young people now and the messaging that they need? You know, what's your observations of what you're seeing in school?
Well, interestingly, we had a school group here yesterday, so we had about 25 kids here yesterday who have never come across a sheep before, never came across a cow before, that's for sure, and they were so into it. They got so much free things, like they were going about talking to all these different people who they'd never come across ever, and I'm like, have you patted a sheep yet? And I'm like, go down to the food hall, see what you can see, what businesses. So we'll take that's where the main lesson will be after us talking about that. But yeah, it was a good trip.
Brilliant. I'm very glad we made you speak to us. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Fleming and I'm with the dairy goat section today.
Where are you from, Rebecca?
So I'm actually from Falkirk, but that's not where my goats are from, so they're in North Lanarkshire. So we have a conjoined herd, myself and another lady.
Okay.
So our goats are kind of together. So she's actually in for Reserve Best Kid at the moment, so very well done for her.
Wow.
Most of it is also a dairy show, although we do have meat and pygmy goats, which are just pets. But the dairies actually get judged on their milk as well. So that's our little milking tent there.
Do you mind if I ask your age?
No, so I am 22. So I am actually not from a farming background. So the lady that I was on about, who I have a conjoined herd with, I actually met her through my mother, because I just decided I like goats one day, and she brought me on. I worked weekends for her, and then for my birthday she was like, pick a goat. So from there on it's just evolved, and now I'm actually, it's a little bit of a secret, but myself and another lady are looking to start an agritourism business with making cheese, but also getting members of the public in to come in and learn about dairy goats. And
That's an exclusive.
Yes, it is, yes.
Listen, they've opened up now.
Yeah.
Are you able to just walk us around? Okay, so we have snuck inside the tent. I don't really think we're supposed to be here while the judging's going on.
Because we're with you, they let us in.
Very
Yes, yeah.
So talk us through what we're looking at.
when they go out into the show ring, they first get judged with a full udder, then they come away and be milked, and then with empty, because that can totally change the front and back attachment of the udder. That can change what it looks like when it's full. They come back out with an empty udder and get judged on both the udder but also their body conformation. This breed is a lot more subdued. They're a lot more like dogs than the other breeds.
Okay,
They're very
right.
sooky.
So you must have quite a strong kind of connection and a bond with these goats. It's not necessarily like having a herd of 1,000 sheep.
No, so these are all hand-reared, unlike
wow.
most of your commercial sheep flocks. So it's a little bit different. You get to know them every day, multiple times a day, whether you like it or not.
Well, I'm really glad we
not a problem.
nobbled you to talk to. Thank you very much.
So that was a great chat with Rebecca in the
She
goat
was
area.
amazing. We're doing quite a good job of finding these really inspiring people, aren't we? Oh,
Well,
Dave,
we're
you were
about to
going to love that
introduce
because I know that you love a good bit of authentic sound.
what we were about to say was we've moved from the goat area to
The poultry tent.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
What a surprise.
Hi, I'm Jane Harrower from Craigievern Poultry, Drim Loch Lomond. I've been asked to do this by the show,
right,
to provide chickens and education. I think it's really important that the general public are educated about poultry and farming in general.
Have you been surprised by anything that anybody has said to you, either this year or in the past? You get any
We've
shocks?
had some crazy things said to us in the past. My husband was sitting with a gosling, a duckling and a chick, and the child asked, "What's that, Mum?" And the mother replied, "That's the daddy, the mummy and the baby."
So that's frequently the teachers and the parents are learning just as much as the children who engage, and
Absolutely. And I think it's a brilliant thing, because we do need to teach our youngsters now where milk comes from. For example, it's not Asda.
And I'll tell you what's caught my eye before we finish is you can do chicken racing here.
That's fast and furious. It lasts about 2 seconds.
How do you make them run? You put the food.
Well, we've got our car, remote control car, and they know that there's feeding in it.
Brilliant.
Thanks for speaking to us.
Very much.
So that was the countryside area. It's been a whistle-stop tour. So if we head towards the main ring and see who we speak to along the way, how about that?
I've seen somebody I know who I'm sure would love to speak to us for the podcast.
That doesn't sound like she would, actually.
Hello, my name's Nicola Kay and I farm in East Lothian.
What is it about the show that makes you put it in your diary every year?
First and foremost, I do spend some time volunteering at the RHET, the Royal Highland Educational Trust
well
Discovery Centre. Secondly, there is the social element. Farming can be quite solitary, and it's really lovely to come and meet people who all deal with the same stuff, and actually it's just lovely to have a blether. You know, even just at the Women in Agriculture business breakfast yesterday morning, you're hearing from really inspirational people. They can make you look back at something that you dismissed that you should be doing, or kind of think about things differently. And just, as I say, kind of getting together with people who probably deal with all the accounts issues that you're dealing with, as well as the day-to-day kind of livestock issues or whatever. They're on the same wavelength, and it's just really helpful to just compare and contrast yourself to others.
So actually there's a well-being element there.
Oh, totally, a mental health. Yeah, definitely. And with wasabi and kind of sort of farm strong and things like that, it's important to have those conversations, and genuinely it is a social highlight for a lot of us in the year, just to catch up.
Totally.
Hello.
You alright?
Hello, my name is Danny Burns from the Alpaca Trekking Centre, Thornhill and Stirling. And with me today I've got Annie, the alpaca.
And she's super friendly because there are two children here stroking her. And what does it feel like to touch her? Is it soft?
Yeah,
very soft.
The reason why she's so friendly is she actually was hand-reared. She lived in the house with us for 7 months because her mum rejected her. So she's been brought up like a dog. So she thinks I'm her mum.
How did you get into keeping and rearing alpacas?
Long story short, I worked for a double glazing company and they sacked 44 managers and asked us to apply for our jobs. And I thought, I don't want to do this anymore. So I was looking for something different, found 2 alpacas for sale down in Derby, phoned the guy up, drove down to Derby, picked them up in the back of a van and brought them home. And I knew nothing about them. So I turned up with 2 alpacas and my wife says, what have you got in the back of the van? I said, really sorry, but I've got 2 alpacas. She goes, what? And that's how it started. I've now got 67. So it's been pretty good. Pretty crazy. We do trekking, we do weddings, bar mitzvahs, we do old folks' homes, care homes, dementia units, anywhere that we can take her because she's house trained because she lived in the house with us. So we can actually take her into hotels, shops, shopping centres, hospitals.
All right, so there's a theme, isn't there? We've now met a guy that sprung 2 alpacas on his wife, another guy that buys Clydesdale horses and hides them from his mum.
Yes. And a lot of people who've got into livestock of one type or another from not having had any kind of farming background as well, which is not actually what I would expect. Yeah, it's really interesting.
A bit of tidying up. Up next we have the lumberjack relay, and that'll be in about 10 minutes time.
Anna, did you guys want to chat? So tell us about yourselves. What are your names and where are you from?
Ollie, and I'm from Falkirk.
I'm Felix and I'm from Hopedon. So
you're both farmers, are you? Right. Have you been to the show pretty much every year of your life, do you think?
Yes.
Have you?
Yeah. Easily.
And why do you come?
It's fun. It's good for us to all the farmers to meet up and have a show dedicated to us. You know.
Yeah.
It brings awareness around farmers all over the world, all over the globe, and all over Scotland. And obviously, quite a lot of us have tough times sometimes. So. Yeah, could inspire someone else to start a farm or something like that.
Yeah, because you see the other side of the road and you see how stuff is actually done.
No farmers, no future.
Yeah, you are good. You should be presenting this podcast, not me.
Yeah, no farmers, no food.
Lads, it's great to speak to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Now then, I like this bit of the show. This is the forestry timber work arena. You can hear that they make chainsaw sculptures of animals over there. You can hear the chainsaws hard at work.
Bears and owls and all sorts. Yeah, it's amazing actually.
Hello, I'm Tegan. Hello, I'm Amy. Hello, I'm Nina.
And tell me where you're from, Nina.
The Shetland Islands.
From within Scotland, you've come the furthest.
Come
a long way.
Yeah, how long did it take us to get here?
It took
24
us
hours.
24 hours. We did stop in Dundee.
We had to stop, but it took us a lot of delays, but we're here.
I can hear the accent now.
Yeah.
I can hear the Shetland accent. How come you've come down? Are you farmers, farming background?
Yeah, big time farmer background, and it's like you have to come to the Highland Show, biggest event of the year for us.
So it's your first time at the show, Nina. Yeah. What are your first impressions? What are your thoughts on how it is?
It's just been splendid, honestly. It's such a good atmosphere. There's so much to do, there's so much to see, so much food.
Yeah.
It's good.
So much food.
A lot of food. There's too much choice.
As well, you really don't have to be fair farming background to come here because there's so much for everybody to do.
It's available for everybody, really. You can just wander and speak to folk, and it's so good. It's off the charts, honestly.
Well, expand on that. Tell me how, why, what are the things that you're seeing here that are different from home?
The
Shetland shows are I don't even know, a quarter the size of this, if that.
So pretty. Sheep alone, there's so many different breeds. The machinery here is vast. It's the food, it's amazing.
And just really, the number of folk that come here as well. The atmosphere.
About a quarter of Scotland will probably be here this weekend. It's amazing. We're never used to such big people traffic. Wow.
I can see you're oh my god, I'm overstimulated.
Yeah, really.
Literally.
And the weather.
Yeah.
This is so warm. This is amazing. Shorts and t-shirt weather.
This is tropical for us, honestly.
There's gales at home.
We're used to wind and rain.
Wind and rain the whole time, so this has been a nice respite.
This has been lush.
So we're here collecting stories, right? So what are your stories in terms of what are you doing back home in Shetland, in farming or maybe elsewhere? Like, you studying? Where are you at with stuff? Tell me, you start.
Well, I never went to uni, so I work full time right now. And we have...
Doing what?
I work with Bairnsby Support Needs. So I do that, and then we have the sheep farm on the side, but it's only a small one compared to everything else here.
Okay.
So pretty. I keep saying pretty.
That's all right, I understand. I know what it means. I've lived here long enough to know some of this stuff. Okay, and yourself?
So I'm doing physiotherapy at university in Dundee, and I've grown up on a sheep and cattle and grass farm in Shetland, and I've always preferred the farming side, but I think it was good to get out and get away and see the rest of Scotland, because I don't leave Shetland otherwise.
No, neither do I.
So that's really me.
So you're expanding your horizons.
Yeah.
And yourself?
I've actually just graduated like a week ago, so that's quite exciting. I graduated from Edinburgh Uni Medical Sciences, and then I just help out on the farms and that. I help Amy, basically.
So it's been brilliant speaking to you guys. It's getting on towards the end of the day. Will you be involved in some of the partying tonight as well?
100%.
Back for the We've
been at the silo bar the past 2 hours.
We saw tidelines in Shetland, which was
we saw them in July,
and we've been thinking about it since then. So really excited to go to that tonight.
Excited, yeah, it'll be good.
So you're gearing up for the nighttime music and the fun in the event.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for stopping to chat.
Thank you. That's been amazing.
Explained it.
Yes.
Hope you have a lovely day.
Yeah, have a good rest of the show, and we'll see you shortly.
Thank you. So one of the main things that goes on at the Royal Highland Show is the receptions, right? Lots of different organisations have a reception. We've just come past the tent for the Morden Foundation and Research Institute, and it is absolutely packed. There's clearly a reception underway. My thinking is we just dive in here and see who we can find.
Elbow our way in.
Morden
Pretend like we've got an invitation.
Exactly, that's right. That's how we get everywhere. But Morden are all friends of the podcast. There's going to be people in here that we should speak to.
Oh, definitely. We can go in and have a chat with some people, shall we?
There we are. There's some gentlemen here that are very keen to speak to us. You can tell.
Hello.
Two people to talk to.
Hi, my name's Bill Gray. I'm a farm manager at Preston Hall near Pathhead, but I'm also a director of the Royal Highland and Agricultural Society of Scotland. And here we are at the 2024 Royal Highland Show.
Would it be cheeky if I also called you a friend of the On Farm podcast?
Not at all. I fondly remember the opportunity that we had during COVID to work with you guys and do a couple of podcasts on the sad cancellation of the 2020 show, and then the resurrection, if you like, of the 2022 show. Indeed. With Showcase in the middle of it all. So great to be involved with you guys again. I think one of the things that was absolutely highlighted during that time was the impact that an event like this has on people's, particularly rural people's lives. And I remember talking to you at the time, and while the Highland Show obviously is the biggest one, the local shows that people lost out on as well all had an impact on everybody's ability to catch up with folk, and it's such an important part of that whole rural picture of maintaining contact, sharing stories with each other. Mm-hmm. Here we are doing exactly the same thing, and we need to keep improving it. We need to keep offering people the opportunities to do business, enjoy it, have fun, socialise, win competitions. I don't think it's wrong to say that most people, when they turn the calendar over on the 31st of December, the first thing that goes in is the Highland Show Week.
So Anna, we've elbowed our way all the way into the Morden reception and right to the top, because who are we speaking to? Just introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Tom McNeely. I'm Scientific Director of the Morden Research Institute and CEO of the Morden Group.
From your perspective, why is the Morden and all of the work that goes on under that Morden umbrella, why is it so important to the agricultural sector?
Morden is really focused on animal health and welfare. We would say that, without good, healthy animals and high welfare animals, then you can't really have a sustainable farming business. And if you have good animal health, you have happier animals, but they grow faster, they have less environmental impact because you don't need to treat them as much with drugs, and you reduce the carbon emissions. So Morden is really important to the farming sector because we provide the tools and technologies to try and help farmers. I mean, that's ultimately what we do. We feel that being at the Highland Show is a way of sort of saying thanks to all the farmers and vets and all the public that have supported us.
Thank you so much. Take care. Cheers. just as we go up these steps, where are we going? What are we doing?
So we've come into the sponsors lounge, which has got probably the best view of the main ring, actually.
And we're hopeful to just speak to a few people about the show, the society, what it's all about.
What it means to them. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
I'm Glyn Lucas. Our company's Harris and Hetherington. We're based in Carlisle, just south of the border, and we're the UK's largest livestock marketing company, so we sell sheep and beef and dairy and machinery. We're a sponsor here, so it's one of the most exciting times of the year. We love it. My job is heavily involved with the dairy industry, so I was here watching the judging this morning, so yeah, I never miss the Highland Show. It doesn't just have an impact on our business, it has an impact on the whole of Scottish agriculture, and I think it even goes further than that. I think it has an impact on UK agriculture, and it influences international business. It's local, it's national, it's international, and it's also a really great event to have the ear of politicians and policymakers, and that's the way agriculture is going to go forward.
And up here in the sponsors lounge, you get a great view of the main ring as well, don't you?
Great view, great cider. All of our sales team and staff are up here, mingling and meeting customers. So it's, if people are listening to it, if you haven't been to the Royal Highland Show before, make sure you get next year. It's a great event.
Well, we're in the sponsors lounge, and you think of the Royal Highland Show and sponsors, and the first name that comes to mind is RBS, Royal Bank of Scotland. Who have we got here?
I'm Tracy Thompson. I'm a loans officer and engagement manager for Royal Bank of Scotland, and I've got the privilege of working for a social lender charity that Royal Bank of Scotland set up 25 years ago, and we lend to social enterprises and trading charities that can't access mainstream bank funding.
Why is the Highland Show important to RBS?
The sector overall is important, and this is a fantastic opportunity for us to actually meet our clients doing what they do best, talking about their work, how they look after their animals, what it actually does for the industry and actually the economy of Scotland, and for us to be able to support these types of organisations right across the whole of the UK, but in particular the agricultural and farming community, is something that is it's embedded in what we actually do.
Thank you very much.
My absolute pleasure. Take care.
My name's Peter Kern. I was judging the Clydesdale horses, the confirmation of the ridden class yesterday. I'm judging the Clydesdale Horse Society Young Handlers on Sunday. I first came to the show here when I was about 5 years old. I was supposed to be here for a night and ended up staying here for a week. My mother came to pick me up and I ran away and they couldn't find me again. So it's been 55 years of my life every year at the Highland Show. Very, very occasionally do I miss a year.
Right,
so I mean it's just a way of my life. I find an awful lot of time is that farmers that I know are quite critical of their customer base, of the people that they are actually supplying food with. They complain about X, Y and Z because they park in their gateways or they hold them up when they've got a tractor going on. So events like this are really, really important to make sure that the people of the countryside and the people of the general public are actually getting together to do it.
Thank you. We might be about to hear the cheering because somebody that we're with up here's horse has just won this round in the show jumping. So this is why they're clapping and cheering. Actually third, maybe it was third, I'm not sure.
But a celebration.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a celebration.
There's a little girl here waiting for a chat.
Hello, my name is Jessica and I'm 7 years old.
Now, have you been to the Highland Show a few times before?
I've been 7 years, so I've been every year, technically.
Can you tell me about what you've been doing at the Highland Show and some of the things that you've enjoyed seeing the best?
I've enjoyed seeing the horses. Me and my sister are trying to convince our parents to get us a pony, a wee mini one.
Well, how about next time I see your granddad, shall I tell him I think you should buy Jessica a pony? Shall I?
Yeah.
Right, I will.
Well, that would be a great help.
will.
Well done. Yeah. You're a star, Jessica.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
really good.
It was great to speak to 7-year-old Jessica. Jessica, with her 100% strike rate, strikes me as a good place to finish up. I think we've probably hit the 50 voices, Anna. What do you think?
I do think we have.
But look, here we are. This is the end of these 2 episodes recorded around and all about the Highland Show with this kind of smorgasbord of voices from the show. This mosaic of voices from the show. And we're finishing up at the centre of everything, the hub of everything, the main ring, where what's underway, Anna? You tell me.
We've been too busy talking for me to listen properly to the commentary, so I couldn't tell you exactly which class it is, but I know that
it's show jumping, isn't it?
High-level show jumping. These jumps are probably 1 metre 50 or more, so this is serious show jumping. I love watching the show jumping, and it always is quite a central activity within the main ring, so it's a good thing to be finishing up with, I think.
So we're at the end of this episode. We think we've reached our 50 voices, but what we haven't done is covered off everything there is to see and do at the Highland Show, because there's just so much. We've not talked about the Young Farmers Exhibition Centre or the Tug of War Championships that will be going on the Saturday afternoon, but we've got quite a few other episodes now in the back catalogue that we'll link to in the show notes, that if you haven't had quite enough Highland Show flavour yet, you can go straight on and listen to those others.
But you're right, we couldn't fit everything in. It's just so vast, but then that's what's so great about it. There's something for everybody.
Well, I've had a great day, great couple of days. Anna, thanks very much. That is the end of another episode of the On Farm podcast.
Thank you.
Anna, who makes On Farm?
On Farm is made by Scene and Herd PR and Marketing, which is run by myself and by Monty, and we do a host of things. We build websites and brands, we take care of social media for people, and another thing that you might be interested in, that I think relates quite closely to all of these stories that we've told, is our On Record initiative, which is all about audio storytelling. So if you have got a family member whose voice and stories and memories you would like to preserve forever, then you need On Record. So find out more at www.onrecordmemories.co.uk. Thank you again for listening. We might not have an episode next week because we are taking a bit of a break over the summer, but we will be back again soon.